G'day all, I'm Graham Sanders and I live at Townsville, North Queensland. That's where latitude 19 crosses the east coast of Australia. Let's discuss how native bees find their food. In a previous series, I did a discussion on scenting and that native bees rely more on scent and therefore use it, whereas honeybees, they use the honeybee dance to locate their food, which raises a question. How do you use scent to find your food? Well, to do this we need to go to a weaker hive, and this is one of my weaker hives here. And as you can see there, it's early morning and the bees are just buzzing around. And I picked a weaker hive because you don't see this activity too clearly on strong hives because they're too busy. All that busyness of bees buzzing around, you just don't see it clear enough. But on this hive you see it clear enough because it's a weaker hive. Let's see if I can get that camera reasonably steady. There we go. Okay, so what we look at first, what happens in the morning is the bees will first send out scout bees. Only one or two bees will go out at a time. And that's the start of the process. There's one going out now. Now these scout bees go out and look for food. They just head out in a random pattern. They don't have any particular path to follow. They go out and find food. And when they find food, they will collect it and return. So at the moment, you're seeing bees just starting to go, and here's a scout bee just returning. Another one leaving. Now these scout bees may go to an original location they went to yesterday, but they might totally bypass that location. So at the moment you're seeing the scout bees leaving and coming, but they haven't started foraging in force yet. And there's a reason for that. I don't know if you ever noticed, but native bees do not if you've got like 5 or 6 hives, how can I explain this? If you've got 5 or 6 hives, sometimes you'll see one hive collecting a lot of pollen from a source, but another hive collecting absolutely none. And you wonder why. And the reason is why is that the scout bees going out now are finding the food source that they think is suitable. And some find a pollen source, some don't. So some hives will find a pollen source and come back and tell their mates. Other hives will miss that pollen source from these scout bees. So what happens now that you've seen scout bees going in and out, but at the moment nothing else is happening? Well, this is when they communicate to their mates. We'll just pause that. So what happens at a hive after the scout bees return? Well, as they return, they go into the hive and they exchange nectar with other bees, or if it's pollen, they've brought in pollen, and the other bees see that and get rather excited. Now that doesn't set off a swarm of bees to race out and collect food yet. No, nothing of the sort. What you saw just there is you'll get the scout bee again leaving. But this time another bee follows it out. You can almost picture this. Weak hives, you see it classically. 2 bees will go out like you're sort of seeing now, and one takes off and the other follows. There you are. There's a classic example. The 2 bees came out and the next one follows. Now what's happening is one is a scout bee. There's another one following the other 2. The scout bee goes out, but he lays a scent trail in the air. The second bee goes out and follows that scent trail. It leaves a scent trail, and as you saw there, the third bee took off, followed the same scent trail. This then sends, instead of 1 bee back to that food source, 3 bees back to that food source. Now that'll take a while, and then those 3 will come back. And then the process just exponentially increases. When they go out, they lay a scent trail and more bees follow. And then more bees follow. Then suddenly the whole hive
says, right, we're ready to go, and away they go, and they're off to their food source that they've found for the day. It could be the same one as last time, or it could be a totally different one. So as you're seeing here, you're seeing scout bees return, and then you see bees gathering to go out. Not a lot, but one goes, and then others tend to follow. Yeah, make a liar of me just now, won't you? Although they're keen to go. I'm probably scaring them off because I'm sitting there. You saw that? There they go, two going off together. That's not just random. I've witnessed this over and over again. And that's why sometimes you see different hives collecting different sources of food. It's what they find on the morning, and when they find it, they go. So what you're seeing there is now scout bees leaving, and each time a scout bee leaves, other bees are keen to follow. There's a bee wanting to follow, but I'm scaring it with the camera at the moment. But the scent trail's being left behind in the air. Now what they also do is sometimes mark the area where they're going to with scent on markers. And I've mentioned it before, for hives around here,
The marker is that gum tree, that dead old gum tree. It's a site marker and a scent marker. So they use that, and the other tree they use, I don't know if you can see it in the distance, oh, there's a palm tree just over there that they also use as a scent marker. So they find their way around. So that's how they find their food. But I've done it on this weak hive so that you can see it clearly. You lose it on a busy hive. On a busy hive, harder to see, but you can see it. What you're seeing here is all the workers are coming out ready to fly off, but they're unsure where to go. And what's happening is other bees are coming in, and these workers walking out the front, they're not walking out there to get warm or anything like that. They're waiting for a guide, a scent guide, to send them on their way. And what you're seeing, or which you don't see but is happening, is as scout bees are leaving again, they leave a scent trail, and that gets these other bees going, and they follow off again. In a much more busier hive, it's a bit harder to see, but that's what basically is happening. These bees are walking around waiting for scout bees to leave, or other bees to leave a scent trail, and then they take off and follow once the scent trail has been laid by another bee. And again, it just grows exponentially.